AI platform. On the top somehow never died. Adrian Vale stared into a screen he didn't want to read. At 41, Adrian's life looked like a brag. Helix ran a portfolio of generative models licensed by governments, Fortune 100s, and 1 billion users who fed it prompts, secrets, and dreams. He had the penthouse, the helicopter, the watch collectors wouldn't shut up about, and insomnia that didn't blink. Helix Midwest Cloud Region status, Chicago R3, he read aloud, the words dry as salt. SLA incidents up 29%, customer escalations up 41%, churn rising in healthcare vertical. A note from legal sat on top of the stack like a spider. Potential whistleblower activity flagged in R3. Treat as routine. Routine. Nothing about the R3 region felt routine. The Chicago campus had been his prototype, a cathedral of compute, humming aisles of air and LED constellations designed like a poem to efficiency. But the numbers were off, and something in his chest was a fist that never unclenched. He closed the reports, closed the laptop, closed the expensive life. He pulled on a plain black hoodie, old jeans, cheap sneakers. No G-class tonight, no driver, no itineraries for assistants to monitor. Just a 4 a.m. flight to Midway under a fake name and the kind of quiet only anonymous airports sell. He booked a room at a business hotel with carpeting patterned like static and slept. For an hour, like a man who'd leapt from a plane and hadn't hit the ground yet. Maya Ortiz tied her hair into a knot and checked the lunchbox on the counter, turkey sandwich cut into a heart. Apple slices, a dinosaur sticker because Leo liked dinosaurs this week. Rent was due in 9 days. Her savings app showed $216.48. If the overtime shift got approved, she'd hit $400 by Friday. If not, she wouldn't. She slid a small envelope into her bag along with her badge. R3 Visitor Ops Temp. The badge was new. The worry wasn't. Maya had a gift for systems. Not the kind you brag about at panels. The kind that keeps loading docks from swallowing shipments and keeps white-glove tours from seeing the mess behind the rope. The kind that noticed the same pallet IDs appearing on different manifests, vanishing like rabbits in a hat. 3 weeks ago, she desent an email through Helix's Speak Up portal with screenshots and the soft courage of people who know what retaliation feels like. The portal kicked back an automated thank you and then silence. Yesterday, an unfamiliar sedan idled too long on her block. A man she didn't know called her by her son's name to ask for directions. Her stomach learned how to live at the floor of an elevator shaft. She kissed Leo's forehead. "Be kind, be brave," she whispered. He mumbled and used 2 hands on the cup. Their ritual. Then she grabbed her tote, her badge, her fear, and walked into a gray morning painted with gulls. The Chicago campus looked like it had been designed by a minimalist who collected stars. No logos outside. Helix liked to pretend it lived in the cloud, but everyone knew. One guard scanned barcodes with the bored precision of surgeons who no longer looked at the patient. Adrian joined the contractor line, head down, hoodie low. 2. ID clipped to a cheap lanyard stamped with a vendor's name that didn't exist. He'd spent years designing badging systems for others. Forging one felt like speaking in reverse. 2. Inside, the pilgrimage. White light, cold air, the endless amphibian hush of cooling. He breathed easier for a second, then not at all. "Break rooms down the hall," a voice said. 2. Or you can pretend to read safety posters like the rest of us on day 1. He turned. She stood a few inches shorter, eyes like warm espresso under fluorescent light. 2. Burgundy jacket, field notebook clipped to the pocket. Badge dangling, Mordia, bid dignity of someone who knew which rules bend without breaking. "First day," he said. 2. Adam. Ops Temp. "Welcome to the humming fridge, Adam Ops Temp," she said. "I'm Maya. If a robot dog runs at you, don't run. They smell fear." Noted 2. He followed her into the break room. Old couch, new coffee machine, flyers for boot camps, and a missing cat. She filled 2 paper cups. "You ever done data center ops?" 2. "Not like this," he said. Same, she lied. She'd been doing it for 2 years and still felt like she was skateboarding on glass. "We swallow 6 football fields of servers." 2. People think it's magic. It's just humans and heat. A pager on her hip buzzed. She glanced, tapped back, precision in the motion. You could fake a resume, not that hand. 2. She slid his coffee across the table. Folded note caught beneath the cup like a secret, trying to be quiet. 8:30. East stairwell. Alone. Her mask slipped. Fear. 2. Then gone, replaced by a service smile that meant later. Adrian picked up his cup. Thanks, he said. Like men say thank you for now. Stairwell yawned empty, smelling faintly of lemon cleaner and static. At 8:30, Maya pushed the door open with the slow caution of a worst-case rehearsal. 3. I know who you are, she said, and the words ricocheted off concrete. Adrian's pulse tripped. I don't, you're Adrian Vale. The hoodie doesn't help. 3. I watched your Stanford talk twice because I couldn't afford the class. She exhaled. If I'm wrong, this is the weirdest day of my life. If I'm right, I wreck ours. 3. He let the disguise fall off his shoulders. You're not wrong, Maya swallowed. They're bleeding you from the inside. Power skimming. Out ghost racks on shadow circuits. 3. Maintenance windows that ran all night for jobs never billed to customers. Manifests lie. Tickets forged. South Dock cameras play loops. He studied her. How long? 3 months? Maybe a year? I noticed when pallet IDs duplicated across loads and a retired cage kept drawing. Power. She handed him a thin notebook of dates and rows. 3. I used the whistleblower portal. Someone in legal closed my tickets. Then a black sedan learned where my kid goes to aftercare. Air tightened like a band. 3 names. Regional Director Ken Mallory. Vendor Liaison, Brandon Chu. Facilities Foreman, Jacques Rivera. VP, who signs maintenance windows, ML. 3. You hired Mallory to professionalize ops. He professionalized theft. Proof. Tonight, 10:45, unscheduled truck South Dock. Her voice didn't shake now. 3. They'll swap dead blades for live ones. Dead to a recycler shell. Live to a lab on Kedzie under Radian Tools. Black market inference for offlog clients. 4. They even sell synthetic engagement through ad partners to pump metrics. Power skim through a phantom substation build to a P.O. box in Joliet. 4. Maya tucked hair behind her ear. I tried to be quiet, but there's a line. It was behind me before I noticed. Adrian, why me? Her answer was a small, sad smile. 4. Because you built this place like a cathedral, and cathedrals deserve better than thieves lighting candles. Because you made me feel less crazy for loving systems. 4. And because I can't afford to be brave alone. He nodded. I'll be at the dock at 10:30. You can come as you. I'll come as the ghost. They forgot. The dock night made the campus honest. The day tours were gone. The cafeteria's halogen glow trimmed to embers. Adrian sat in a borrowed van that smelled like rain and duct tape, 2 blocks from the south gate, a camera on the dash, a second in the grill, a third tucked in the Velcro of a reflective vest. He'd notified no one. The first truck took the corner too slowly, headlights cutting the wet like scalpels. No logos, no plates you could see without trying. Gate badge, green light. No. The truck vanished through the mouth of the loading bay. Adrian's phone buzzed with a text from a number he didn't recognize. Unknown. Nice night for a stakeout, Mr. Vale. He stared at the screen. His spine went cold. Unknown. You didn't think the king could visit the board without the rooks noticing? A photo arrived him in the van earlier? A grainy angle from a camera he hadn't noticed? Unknown. New rule. You go home right now, or a kid named Leo forgets how to hold a cup with 2 hands. His vision tunneled. The van felt too small, the city too large. He typed, if you touch them, I bury you, then deleted it, because rage is evidence. He typed, what do you want? Unknown. For you to remember that even architects live in the buildings they design. The foundation collapses on everyone. The truck's rear doors opened under the bay lights, and men with the bored certainty of long practice rolled out racks wrapped like cadavers. A foreman in a yellow jacket signed a tablet with a name that didn't belong to his face. Adrian recorded everything until his storage filled. He swapped cards with fingers that didn't want to work. He waited for police he hadn't called, FBI he hadn't told, backup he didn't have. Another text. Come inside. Alone. Or we send a different truck to a different door. The hallway wore the smell of damp cardboard and stress. Adrian walked past a nitrogen monoxide unauthorized entry sign like he owned it, because technically he did, and pushed into the region director S office. Ken Mallory lounged behind the desk like a man who drank expensive whiskey but only knew its price. He had the tan of someone who never saw the sun and a smile that belonged on a brochure for yachts. On the couch, Maya, hands zip-tied, lip bleeding, fury unbroken, Stavale, Mallory said. Or Adam. Depends on whether you want to be the ghost or the king tonight. Adrian's voice, when it came, was quiet. Let her go. After we chat. Mallory steepled his fingers, bored with his own villainy. You've got a beautiful machine. We tightened a few bolts, sold the extra torque. Everybody wins. Everybody? Adrian asked. The partners who want compute without compliance. The campaigns that want sentiment without scrutiny. The funds that want precognition in markets. And you get your growth curve smoothed. The optics are lovely. Maya spat blood into a tissue and smiled with her teeth. Tell him about the Radiant Tools Lab. Kenny? The one where you pipe model outputs to generate fake public opinion that just happens to benefit your clients? Mallory's smile cooled. She's poetic when she's scared. Scared isn't poetic, Maya said. It's accurate. Adrian took a step forward. Untie her. Mallory lifted a hand. Two men at the door adjusted their shirts to show the possibility of guns. Here are your options, Adrian. Sign a delegation memo naming me interim. Coup while you take leave for health reasons. Or we push a bundle of forged approvals and doctored logs to 3 regulators and 5 newspapers. You'll be rich, silent, and retired in 48 hours. No. Or you'll be infamous. A phone on the desk buzzed. Mallory glanced, then turned the screen for Adrian. A live feed. Leo asleep on a couch at a woman's apartment, a red dot in the corner of the frame. Maya's breath stalled. It'd be a shame, Mallory said, if a fire alarm failed and a door jammed. Buildings are just systems. Systems can be made to fail. Something in Adrian went very, very still. Think you built Helix? Mallory said softly. But it built you. You live in the cage with the tiger? All I did was feed it better meat. Adrian let his eyes move like a camera. The desk, the drawers, the thermostat, the sprinkler head, the ceiling smoke detector, the hairline on the brushed steel plate that didn't sit flush, a pinhole camera. He smiled a little. You're recording this, of course. Good, Adrian said. So am I, Mallory laughed. Where? Your hoodie, your clever little. The building, Adrian said. His office, the bay, the south corridor. I took your loop offline an hour ago. Mallory's face ticked. Impossible. Adrian shrugged. I wrote the firmware for the first version of our edge cameras. The back door is ugly, but it's mine. For the first time, Mallory looked unsure. You won't call the cops? No, Adrian said. You will? Mallory blinked. What? No, Adrian said. You will. The lab, they hit the service stairs 2 at a time, then 3. The lab sat in a squat brick building 4 blocks away, through an alley that smelled like rain and old oil. Maya's shoulders shook with adrenaline, not fear. You okay? Dreen asked between breaths. Ask me after I stand up without the world tilting, she said. I hate concussions. He grinned, breathless. That's specific. Occupational hazard of being right around men with secrets? At the lab door, the keypad awaited a code that didn't belong to either of them. Adrian looked up at the camera, then at the junction box, then at the conduit. 2 minutes, he said. You have 10 seconds, Maya said. Sirens grew louder in the near distance. Not for them yet. For a different failure somewhere else. Adrian tore the cover, bridged 2 wires with a paperclip he'd kept since college. The lock side opened like a traitor. Inside, rows of kitted servers that had never touched Helix's inventory. A whiteboard scrawled with customer nicknames minus Peregrine, title. Sovereign, and a stack of fresh pallets stamped with Helix's asset tags. Maya snapped photos with muscle memory. Adrian found the uplink rack and slid in a tiny device the size of a mint tin from his pocket. Is that Maya started? A tap with a friend, he said. Say hi to Agent Park for real this time. Footsteps. Fast. Many a back door crashed. Open jocks. Brandon, glassmouth, and a woman with a laptop like a plate of knives. No speeches, Maya said, sarcastic, even bruised. Just logistics, the woman said, and aimed. The first shot took out a light. The second took a chunk of wall. The third did not happen, because the building lost power like a body losing blood. Darkness ate the room. Adrian hit the floor and dragged Maya with him. Stay. I hate that word, she hissed, but she stayed. Footsteps again, but stumbling now. Emergency lights failed to come up. Someone cursed about the generator, and then the street bloomed with blue and red. FBI on windbreakers. CPD behind. Orders barked with the crisp certainty of people who did not come to negotiate. Hands where we can see them, on the ground. Jocks raised a gun and learned why that's a short verb. In the chaos, Maya's head found Adrian's shoulder. Her breath trembled. Leo. He pulled his phone out with hands that didn't want to shake and hit a number he dememorized out of fear. A woman answered, eyebrows in her voice, Mrs. Ortiz. This is Adrian. It's Leo, he's fine. Mijo, she said, warm and iron. The nice police sat in my kitchen and ate my empanadas while they carried my grandson's STV downstairs because they said upstairs is a hazard, she snorted. Men with guns don't scare me. Bills scare me. Maya sobbed out a laugh that broke and mended at once. After dawn inked the sky in thin blue truths. In a quiet corner of Northwestern Memorial, a doctor shined a light in Maya's eyes and told her she could sleep if someone woke her every 2 hours. Adrian volunteered with the eagerness of a man who'd learned where meaning lives. Agent Hannah Park arrived with a folder and a tired smile. You made my night chaotic, she told Adrian. My case airtight? Mallory, in custody, along with your vendor liaison and foreman, seized the lab. We have enough emails to open a museum of stupid? The partners? Maya asked. Some will flip, some will run, some will pretend they've never heard of Helix, Park said. We'll see them all. And the VP with the initials ML, Adrian asked quietly. Agent Park's smile thinned. You're going to have a rough board meeting. Understatement, he said. Park closed the folder. Ms. Ortiz, your documentation saved us months. We'll make sure you're protected. We'll also make sure you're compensated. I want my job, Maya said. And a promise you'll fix the portal that eats reports? Park glanced at Adrian. Adrian nodded. Done. He waited until the room emptied and the machines hummed soft. He pulled the visitor chair closer, took her hand, careful of the four. You never asked why I came alone, he said. I figured because you couldn't trust anyone, she said. Or because you didn't know how to ask for help. He smiled without humor. Both. Maya studied him. You built a cathedral. It's okay if you want to pray in it with other people. He exhaled, something in his chest unclenching for the first time in years. Maya, you're about to say something reckless, she said gently. Wait until I can stand without the room applauding, and then say it. Deal, he said. But I am going to say this now. You're not going back to a badge that says temp. You're going to lead a new group, trust and ground, independent escalation. Audit rights that go past legal, a budget I'll fight for, and the authority to wake me at 3 a.m. when a spreadsheet smells wrong. She blinked. I don't have a degree. You have a map in your head where other people keep mirrors, he said. I don't hire paper. I hire gravity. Her eyes glossed. If I say yes, it's because of Leo. He deserves to see systems become fair when people push. He'll see it, Adrian said. And he'll see me show up for both of you. She squeezed his hand. Careful, that sounds like a future. Good, he said.